So InZOI is the new life sim that everyone's hyped about because of how good it looks, and it's trying to directly compete with The Sims after they held this monopoly on the genre for so long. A lot of people are hyped about this because it's direct competition with The Sims, but some people are even going as far as saying it's the sim killer, saying this could potentially end The Sims because of how good the game looks. So I want to take a big picture look at InZOI to see how good it actually is and if it can actually end The Sims. I think the strongest thing InZOI has over The Sims right now is the character creator. The character creator is so good. It's very extensive. You can do a lot. Practically anything you want to do with your InZOI versus The Sims, which seems a little bit bland when it comes to it. This isn't crazy, but something I loved about it was the UI. The UI seems so slick. You can modify it and move it around. It's just nice overall just to have this UI that's very slick looking and gives you all the information you want, and gives you less information if you don't want to see everything. InZOI's UI is just amazing, and Sims just looks clunky in comparison. It's not terrible by itself, but when you compare it to InZOI, it doesn't look great, and it looks very dated, and that's to be fair because Sims is over 10 years old at this point. So this game just modernizes a UI for a life sim, and it does it so well. So the building menu is pretty extensive and gives you a lot of options and creativity on what you can do. I like this, and it's a lot more extensive than I thought it would be for a brand new life sim in early access. The Sims 3 that they just got rid of. So this makes the city feel alive, that you're actually part of this big community of Zois versus The Sims where you're kind of confined to your house a bit and some venues. So I love this. I may be biased, but I love this part of Sims 3. But ZOI does it very well, making the city feel alive. And the city seems pretty expansive with all these venues you can go to interact with different people. Overall, the game comes off as serious, but there are some goofy interactions you can have with some NPCs, like getting into fights with them. But by the end of playing it after 2 hours, I just didn't enjoy InZOI that much. Despite all the positives and quality work that was put into this game and how good it seems on early access, it does feel very bare bones. So I made a character that was more focused on making music and videos at home rather than getting a typical career, and that just seemed very limited in what you can do with that. When you complete a video or a piece of music, all you can do is just sell it. There's no building up a fan base, there's no royalties, there isn't like some studio that you can make a deal with or anything like that, which I was kind of hoping for from a life sim that was a little bit more geared to a serious playthrough. So it feels like it's just missing some career options when you want to not do the typical career paths. And going the typical career route, there doesn't seem to be that many options, but this is early access, so I'm sure they'll add more content over time. Also, the roleplay seems a little bit limited in this game because I was trying to play more of a sloppy character that just didn't give a crap, left food all over the place, and you would be constantly harassed with this pop-up saying you need to clean the house. So it seems to be geared to you wanting to play a very certain way, keeping everything clean and maintaining these relationships, but I wanted to make a character that just hated everyone and also just be sloppy. So the game felt like it was trying to push me in a certain direction of how to play it while maintaining like an actual nice household, when I wanted to play a character that was just sloppy. So there seems to be a lot of things you can do with Zois when it comes to interacting with them and developing relationships with other Zois, but the problem is it feels like it's somewhat shallow. I feel like you have all these options, but it comes down to only positive or negative bonuses to your relationship when you choose options like this. The game itself has so much in it, such as a free city to explore, all these venues, all these different options to do with the relationships, but ultimately the game feels somewhat bare bones. So it just feels like there's not much you can really do, and I imagine this will change as early access develops the game and adds more content over time. Right now, it just feels very empty in a way that you can't really do much out there. Unless you really love designing homes and buildings and having all these characters that you can create, the game itself in terms of its economy and what you can do with the sim hobby-wise seems very basic. And this is like one advantage The Sims just has, just simply because it's been out for so long. Despite all the DLC, there's still a lot of things a sim can do. I think InZOI began with an early access that has a lot more than just Sims base game, but it does feel pretty empty and bare bones right now than what I wanted or expected out of this game. The game also seems to be geared to a more serious audience with less options and ways to play the game, and it seems to be trying to push you in a certain direction when playing the game as well, with all these like little tooltips coming up constantly, reminding you to clean up and stuff. So it seems like this is a little bit more serious, while The Sims can be a lot more silly, chaotic, and fun that way. So at the very end, this isn't going to be a Sims killer. I don't think it's going to even come close to being a Sims killer, simply because Sims has been out so long and so well established and has so much content. InZOI I don't think can catch up at all unless a new Sims just comes out. As long as the devs keep adding content and making the game more fleshed out and developed, I think the game's going to end up being really good, and once it comes out of early access. Right now it's very bare bones, but it has a lot of potential to become the life sim and usurp that position from The Sims, but I don't think it'll ever end The Sims. It will never kill The Sims. As always, that's my opinion. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks.